Hey guys, we are on the Speed Triple 1200 RR. Super excited about this. It actually feels a lot more comfortable than my 848. So this is obviously kind of trying to hit that middle range between naked and sports bike. Handlebars are much wider, which is nice. I'm not as aggressive, which again feels nice. Your kind of immediate thoughts. Not as much pressure on my wrists. And we're off. Yeah, it feels quite nice actually. On kind of so I'm 6 foot. I think most of you know by now. You've seen it in my other videos. 6 foot, about 90 kilos, and this feels, like I said, a lot better than the Ducati 848. But in terms of what the bike is, it's a obviously Speed Triple Triumph 1200 RR. They only came out about a year and a half ago. It has, I think, about, oh no, I'm in the wrong lane here. No, actually I think I was in the right lane. It has 173 brake horsepower. It's 165 miles an hour top speed. 153 mile range on the tank, I believe. It's got Öhlins suspension. It's got Brembo style something brakes. Sure I don't crash into anyone here. That quick shifter is so smooth. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I could not feel anything. That was impressive. Clutch is a little tough, I think, like I said, going back to the gears. But in terms of, yeah, sort of the purpose of this bike, it's basically the same bike as the Speed Triple 1200 RS, which came out in 2021. That's the naked version. And this one is basically that bike, but with clip-ons and some fairings. I'm not gonna lie, it turns pretty well at low speeds. Like that, yeah, it makes you feel quite comfortable. So it's basically the naked, but with some tweaks. Got the white one today, not the red one, but I think the white one looks just as nice. To be honest, the shape of them, I wasn't keen at first. I feel like they're like Marmite. You either love them or hate them. And I wasn't keen, but I do actually quite like this sort of cafe racer look. Yeah, I'm a fan now. The legs are still relatively high up, but not as much as the 848 again. So I'm 6 foot, comfortably touch the floor, no dramas there. Both feet. Looks pretty good in terms of reflection. A little groggy on first gear, going at slow speeds, but it's to be expected, isn't it, I suppose. Can I find neutral? No. Oh, there you go. The dash, I think it looks nice, but in comparison to other dashes I've seen on newer bikes, not as good. This bike is going to set you back, I think brand new, 17,800. It is only literally a year and a half old. You can find them second hand. I was looking actually this morning between 13k and 17k. So no, between 13 and 16, sorry, you know, with 2,000 or 3,000 miles on them, but with some extras and stuff. That is smooth. That is very smooth. I was listening to some other reviews actually of the bike over the last week, because I know I was obviously going to be test riding this one, and Neevesy from Motorcycle News talks about how you don't particularly want to rev this one too much. The nice sweet spot is kind of at that mid-range. So yeah, interesting. I do like revving the bike quite a lot, and I suppose if you're not revving it really high, it's not going to feel as quick, but I guess we'll find out once I'm able to open up a little bit, obviously within speed limits. Initial thoughts, I'm impressed, I'm not going to lie. I think it feels quite flickable as well, actually. Like very yeah, I think it likes to turn. It likes corners. Now, I've not ridden any naked bikes before, so I don't know what they feel like in comparison, but I assume it probably feels like this, just with maybe a bit of more of a straighter position. Bit of wind coming through. I think the screen does an okay job, but it's not that tall actually, so you will get a bit of wind. So it's got 6 gears. We found that one out. Ah, the indicators feel like you haven't really pressed them, so it's one of those weird ones where it doesn't make a noise or anything, so you don't really know. Okay, when you're accelerating a little bit, I don't know if it's just my weird acceleration pattern, but after you use the quick shifter, there's a little kind of drop in speed. I'm going to keep trying it again just to make sure it's not me. Certainly one of the things I've just noticed. It was really smooth at low speeds, but when you open up a little bit, I don't know if maybe that compromises the switching. But personally, I've read reviews online where it says this doesn't attack corners as much. I think all he wants to do is lean over and turn. Is kind of what I've experienced so far. It is a nice sounding bike. It's not quite the screaminess of the, you know, R6, and it's not I'm gonna go left here. It's not the grunt of a Ducati V4. It's just that in-between spot. But everyone always praises this engine. Would I go touring on this bike? Probably not. Would I use it to rag about on a daily basis? Probably yes. So to me, it doesn't quite hit that. It doesn't quite hit that. Let's go right in here so you can see the bike. There she is. Not as aggressive as a Daytona 675. Not as relaxed as the Speed Triple 1200 RS. I think it's a good looking bike. I don't know what you guys think, but I think if you get the front, I think you'll like the rest of the bike. If you don't get the front, you won't like it. Loads of carbon fibre, bits spread throughout the bike. I think everything here is pretty standard. Not a huge fan of the tail tidy, I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people will die for it, but I'm not a huge fan. I can imagine it's probably not going to be too comfortable for a pillion passenger. To be honest, for 18 grand, what, you can pick up a Ducati Panigale V4 second hand for about, what, 15k? You can get a top of the range, pretty much brand new BMW 1200 GS for 17,000. So it's right up there in terms of cost. But I guess it's all subjective, right? It all depends on what you want. I don't think this bike can do it all. Like I said, I don't think you'd want to take it on a very long tour across Europe, but I could be wrong. Well, that was quite fun. You got to love a new bike pull because you just don't know what to expect. So I'm getting wind on top of my arms and the upper part of my chest, and I'm going to 66. So it's obviously, you know, it's not going to be your best friend on a motorway or an A road. Having said that, you've definitely got more protection than a naked. So, you know, it's all about where you stand, really. Every bike offers something unique and something different in comparison to others. The seat, I think, is very comfortable. I've got no issues with that. It's not firm, it's quite padded and squidgy. I could certainly sit on that. But like I said, a couple of things I've already noticed. I'm getting vibrations on my right hand. Hold on a second. I'm getting vibrations on my right hand. Had to do that. And I'm getting wind right now. But apart from that, tell you what, when you open her up, she does go. And we're returning the bike. I think it's a brilliant bike. I've had a lot of fun on it. The upsides is it's a sport bike, but with a slightly better body positioning. So if you're like me, where you're starting to regret some of the choices you made in terms of what bike you bought, this could be a good compromise. So you don't have to go full naked or touring or sports tour or whatever. You can just opt for one of these and you've got the best of both worlds.